Hey guys, thanks for clicking on the video. So I wanted to talk to you guys for a little bit about an incident that happened here in my own hometown of Tacoma, Washington. Many of you have probably seen it all over the country on whatever news station you have. It was a police incident that occurred, and I want to talk about it. So for those of you that maybe don't know what I'm talking about, or maybe you do, there was an incident 2 days ago here where I live, where a police officer ran over not one, but several people. As far as I know, only 2 of them were transported to a hospital. I don't know their conditions, unfortunately. I haven't really heard anything other than they were in serious condition at last check, and then they backtracked it, and I don't really know what the situation is, to be honest with you. In any case, I do wish anybody that was involved in that a speedy recovery, and I wish them good wishes. Now, this is what I want to talk about, though, because we talk about police brutality, and we talk about cops using deadly force and things like that around this nation. And unfortunately, that's the situation that Tacoma Police Department is in right now. I'm not going to share the video here because it's kind of graphic. If you want to take a look at it on your own, I'm sure if you type into the search bar, Tacoma police officer runs over people, you'll find it. First and foremost, I want to say this because I have a lot of friends from working in the area of Tacoma Police Headquarters that actually are police officers. So I want to take a minute to address that and say that the majority of the police officers within the city of Tacoma are good people that have morals and values that they respect. Not only do they respect their own, but they respect values and morals of other fellow officers and community members as well. I also want to take a minute to say that the mayor of our city, Mayor Victoria Woodards, has done a phenomenal job in trying to bridge the gap to bring the communities together and work with community members. Specifically, she wants to work with Black community members to bridge that gap of racism and try and figure out how to get rid of it, and really not, if not get rid of it, find a way to make our communities better, especially while our departments are policing. So there's 2 things that I want to touch on real quick in this video, and that's Black Lives Matter and the incident in itself. So I think people are a little confused, so I want to clear exactly what this event was. For some reason, some people think that this was a Black Lives Matter rally and that the officer ran over Black Lives Matter protesters. Okay, that's not what happened. Here's what happened. A bunch of drifters, I guess, from local car clubs, they got together on the corner of 9th and Pacific Avenue in downtown Tacoma. If you're not familiar with that corridor, it's a very high volume area. The transit station is literally right there. The main transit station is right there. There's a lot of traffic coming in and out of there, especially transit. And that's kind of where we're talking about. It's basically at a block over from the major transit hub of Tacoma. Some car clubs got together down there, and they started doing donuts, and they started peeling out, and they started doing burnouts, which is basically the same thing as peeling out, I guess. They started drifting their cars. I don't know if they were racing it. I really highly doubt that they were, but besides that, basically, because of the situation and it being a legal activity, the police were called. The police showed up. They were trying to disperse people. Some people did leave. Some people just moved out of the way. But a group of people decided that it would be necessary to surround a police officer while he was sitting in his vehicle and start shaking his car, throwing stuff at his car, banging on his car, trying to break out his windows. He tried to go in reverse, but he couldn't because of how many people were right there. And so then he ended up going forward, and in the process ran over, not one, because it keeps being reported as only one person went under the tire, but he ran over multiple people. The department says that he did this in the aspect of fearing for his life. Honestly, I can see how he was fearing for his life. I wasn't there. I've only seen video of the incident, so I can't clearly tell exactly what was going on. But it did appear that he was most likely fearing for his life. I mean, the situation I saw, I would be afraid for my life as well. So I'm sure that he wasn't trying to hurt anyone, but in the process, he did. This is where I want to start talking about the Black Lives Matter movement. For some reason, people seem to think that Black Lives Matter protesters were run over, and now downtown was full of Black Lives Matter protesters yesterday. And, I get it. Some of them were protesting the police brutality incident that happened, and then others came because, police brutality, let's go and, voice our opinions on our claims and whatnot, which I get. What I want people to understand, though, is this turned into a Black Lives Matter protest, and I really wouldn't even call it that. The only reason I'm saying that is because there were members there that, have that affiliation. But for the most part, people were just angry and pissed off and mad that a police officer did this to somebody. I'm not really going to tell you what my opinion is, because my opinion is about this big in this situation right now. That and I want to learn more about the situation before I form an official opinion. I kind of have an idea of what that opinion is going to be. But again, I want to make sure that I have the right information before I give you what my opinions are. And the reason I bring Black Lives Matter into this and talk about the bridging of the gaps and things like that is because this department has been working really, really hard to make sure that type of situation that happens across the country with police brutality and deadly use of force incidents doesn't happen. We do have police shootings where police officers shoot and kill suspects, but it's not as frequent as people would think. We get several throughout the year, and normally when it happens is because somebody pulled a gun on an officer, or somebody tried to run over one, or whatever the case is. I don't necessarily believe that every incident is truthful when it comes out, but that's just my personal thought on that. But this was an incident that, it definitely could have been avoided. What I will say is this: if you're if you're one of those people that was there and you were partying in the middle of the road and making a ruckus and acting a fool and just being a complete moron, you know what? You shouldn't have been there, and you shouldn't have been doing what you were doing. Honestly, how I look at it is, when you do stupid shit and you get a stupid prize, well, accept the prize and deal with it. I don't necessarily believe that these people deserve to be run over. Of course not. But they were stupid enough to do what they were doing. And I'm sorry, but if I was one of those people, I would probably be expecting that officer to respond in some sort of manner. And the fact that he responded in that manner, well, you were in the way and he got you. He, she, whoever. They got you. And quite frankly, I totally believe that you brought it upon yourself. Like I said, I don't agree that you deserved what happened to you. But you know what? When you play stupid games and you get stupid prizes, you got to accept the prize and you got to move on. Bottom line, stay the hell out of the fucking public road. If you want to have fun like you guys were doing, I don't have a problem with you guys drifting and doing wheelies and shit like that. But go somewhere where there's not a high population of people, like go on a back road somewhere, or, wherever you can find. Go in an empty parking lot of maybe an abandoned business or whatever. Just, why you got to do it right there in the middle of a busy intersection? Like, are you stupid? I don't understand that. I really don't. And I know people that have nice cars that can drift and shit, but they're not dumb enough to go do what you guys were doing. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they were there. I don't know. But, I mean, come on, people. Just use your brains. God gave you a brain for a freaking reason. Or whoever you support. You were given a brain to use for situations like this, to avoid situations like this. Bottom line, man, just stay the fuck out of the goddamn road. And if you're dumb enough to be doing that shit and get run over, well, you know what? You probably fucking deserved it. I mean, how many times you got to be told by police to get out of the road? That in itself is, if you're told to get out of the road and you were just standing in the road, well, you should have just moved. But if you're one of those people that was banging on his car, trying to bust out his windows and shit, well, then you fucking deserved what happened to you. Bottom line, you totally did. I really feel bad for your parents, because they're probably sitting at home watching this on the news right now going, what the fuck is my kid doing out there? Why is my kid out there acting like a complete moron? I know my mom would be calling me, get your ass to my house right now. And I live on my own. I own my own house. My own house. But my mom would definitely call me, get your ass to my house right now so I can beat you. My mom don't have a lot of strength, but believe me, she would find a way. So that's kind of where I'm at with all this. So take a minute and give me your opinion. Put in the comments what you think. If you live here, really tell me what you think. Let me know what you think about this particular department. Tell me what you think about Pierce County Sheriff, because as I understand that they're the ones going to be doing the investigation. I did see a Puyallup police officer on TV. I don't know what their standing is. Maybe it's changed. I don't really know, but I want your guys' opinions on this. So shoot me your responses, and I hope that you all have a wonderful week. It's back to the week because the weekend's over, unfortunately. So, yeah. So anyway, I love all of you. You guys are awesome. Send in your comments and your opinions. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button for me if you could. Let's build this little network that we got going on here. So, till then, I will talk to you guys later. Peace out. Be safe this week, and have a great week if I don't talk to you before the end of the week.